Hey everyone, my name is Sam.
And I'm Melissa.
And welcome back. Today's video is going to be about what it was like growing up with no electronics.
Basically what it was like growing up as if he was in the 1800s.
Yeah.
But if you want to hear other stories about what it was like growing up in polygamy, then hit the like button, subscribe for all of these fun stories. And if you want to hear how and why he left, then go ahead and click on the video above. But we always joke that whenever we see like pioneer type things, like the Old West, I'm always like, oh babe, this is just like how you grew up. This is just how you grew up.
It's true.
And it really is true. So there's like a lot of aspects to growing up, like it's 1855. But one of the major things is electronics.
Yes. That was a big part of it, and we had technology. We grew up with technology. Not all technology, but we had nice vehicles, and we had...
Yeah, it wasn't like the Amish.
Right.
So they definitely were like a step up from the Amish in the fact that they had stuff. But...
Right. Yeah, but it wasn't nearly as much as the normal person would have. We had basically vehicles and phones, cell phones. That's about it.
Yeah, but even on your phones, were you allowed to have an internet on the phone?
No internet on the phone. Well, I had moved out before smartphones became a thing, really. But
showing your age there, babe.
Yeah, true. But I have heard and talked with some that have moved out more recently, and they were not allowed to have internet on their phone at all. And because they actually were in that habit, even after they moved out, they weren't interested in getting internet on their phone at all either. They were, because of the way they were told, that it's just so bad to have it.
Yeah, so much access to so much evil. So it took a little bit to convince some of his siblings to get like Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a little convincing at first, but they come around normally.
Yep. But the main things we were not allowed to have.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yes, were TVs. Any type of TV. We weren't even supposed to have the radio, even though some people did. No radio, no TV, no computer or video games at all.
No music either, right?
That's
like
true.
CDs?
True. So, yes, no normal music.
Okay. Can I tell the story of...
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, we were still dating, and obviously, like, I knew right from the beginning where he was from and all that, so that wasn't a surprise. However, a surprise was I was flipping through his CDs in his car. Again, we're showing age. Okay, so we're flipping through his CDs, and I see the CD that has like pictures of
some leaders of the church.
Some leaders of the church out there. I think it was Warren Jeffs was on one of them.
His face was on one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "What is the CD?" And he's like, "Well, there's only specific music that they were allowed to listen to, and so it all had to be church music, basically."
Yep.
And we put it in. And I'm not going to lie, and I don't mean to sound disrespectful because I respect them for, anybody in their own beliefs. However, for an outside person, it was creepy. It was so weird because it very much idolizes, Warren and their prophets. And, it's very much, whatever the prophet says and, just follow. And, it was just very... I don't know, it felt a little eerie to me as an outsider hearing music like that, and that was the only music they were allowed to listen to.
Yeah.
Unless you were a rebel, in which case, what was that like?
Well, that was the only music we were allowed to listen to. It had to be made from the church, and a lot of the songs, I don't know if you heard any of these ones, but a lot of the songs Warren Jeffs sang himself.
Yeah, or they had children's choirs,
or children's choirs, and there were other people throughout the community that sang as well. And but typically the lyrics to all of the songs were very much catered towards how you need to be obedient to the prophet. You need to do whatever he says, and that type of thing. Yeah,
it was a lot, mostly about obedience.
Obedience and keeping sweet. Yeah.
Sweet.
That's a phrase they had out there too. So
yeah, which meant just always just obeying no matter what you were feeling about it, no matter what was being asked of you. You just keep sweet and do what you're told.
Yep. So that's what we were supposed to listen to, and most of the time did listen to.
Yeah.
But of course, there were those of us. There were those of us that listened to other music as well. But we had to be very sneaky about that. We would have to hide our CDs or discs, and
even CD players. Didn't you have one in your pillowcase?
I had a CD player, one of the small ones, the portable CD player that I had. I also at one point had a DVD.
Which was a big no-no.
DVD player, that was even beyond, that was way worse than even listening to what they call Gentile music. So worldly music. So at one point I even had a DVD player under my pillow, and I don't think I actually ever got caught with a DVD player.
Which is amazing, because I've heard stories of people from his community getting kicked out and being told they couldn't live there anymore for going and watching movies, or like going to a movie theater, like sneaking out and seeing a movie was enough to get kicked out for some people. It was like a big sin.
Big deal. It was a big deal, and the music I did get caught with though. I did get caught with the music, and it was not pleasant. They were very, I don't know. Have you ever had your parent, instead of just getting really mad at you, they just seemed very disappointed, like
it's so much worse.
like you just destroyed their entire life, and you're just like, oh no, come here, you know. So, anyways, it was that kind of thing where they were just. It was my mother that caught me with it, and she was just so disappointed, and I felt bad, you know. But,
and what kind of music would make your mother's heart break?
Oh man!
And be so disappointed in you? What kind of rebel music were you listening to, babe?
It was country music. Yeah.
Country music. So
yeah. I believe it was Tim McGraw. Tim McGraw was the person that I got caught with, and way too much love story going on there for what was accepted.
Yeah. Yep. So Tim McGraw was a no-go, but it always cracks me up because I feel like most teenagers, it's like listening to Eminem or these like explicit rappers. Yeah. But for him, Tim McGraw
and Taylor Swift, a little bit of Miley Cyrus, you know.
Oh my goodness. Hillary Duff. When we first started dating, he still.
And Hillary actually.
Yeah,
yes.
He has a soft spot for Hillary.
I had all of her songs memorized. Yeah, so she was on the top of the list. Yep.
Yep, and I think you have to tell anytime we talk about music, his oldest brother, who is still very strong in the religion,
was then and still is. Yeah.
And still is, and is the leader out there. So one of the things that they do is they
would basically say a special prayer for their vehicle and dedicate it in a way to help keep them safe and keep people out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So his brother had dedicated his truck, and they were out on a construction site, and lo and behold, this little rebel here.
It was a couple of us. A couple of us were sitting
not just you. Okay.
Yeah. A couple of us were sitting in the vehicle, and he was out. I believe he was just wrapping up at the job site. He was gathering a few things up. And so we're sitting in there waiting for him, and we thought, hey, this is a good time to listen to some music that we don't really get to listen to. So we turn on the radio, and we're sitting there, we're listening to the music, and we see him pop up, and apparently outside of the vehicle you could hear the beat, and he turned and he saw what was going on, and he lost it. I mean, he just came running to the truck, and he just flung the door open and was just so mad at us. He was just yelling at us, I can't believe you would do this. This is a dedicated vehicle. You destroyed, or you ruined the dedication. Now I'm gonna have to redo it. And just it was a big deal. Yeah. So anyways, that was listening to music that wasn't made from the church was a big no-no. It was very bad to do out there. Yeah, of any kind.
And I will say too, growing up without any electronics, obviously they were still little boys that would get into trouble and stuff. But since leaving, I feel like you appreciate movies and electronics like so much more when you grow up without them.
Yeah, probably more than the average person, just because it's almost like a treat to be able to watch a movie. Just not growing up with them, it's a big deal, and you pay attention more probably than everyone else that grew up with them all their life. Yeah. So, still to this day, I have a lot of fun. I always like to sit down and watch a good movie.
Yep. So that's what it was like being raised with no electronics, specifically no music.
Movies, TV.
No movies, no TV.
TV was one of the big things that kept a lot of the information from the outside world coming in because we didn't watch any TV. I saw my father read a newspaper, so he had that, but no TV. I was going to say, as far as the movies go, we were allowed to watch some movies on a DVD player, but they had to be handpicked by father, and we weren't even allowed to watch movies with the mothers. It had to be with father. Father had to be present in the room to watch a movie, and he had to choose what it was.
So what movies did you get to watch?
So yes, the movies that I got to watch were I watched Bambi a few times. I watched Winnie the Pooh.
Very wholesome.
Yeah. I would say the most intense movie that I got to watch as a child was The Sound of Music. That was. Whew.
That's some scary stuff.
That was scary. Yeah. As a young kid, I was hiding under a chair or something during the Nazi scene. That was intense. But anyway, so those were the main type of either Disney cartoons, but very few. Or movies that he would handpick and thought had a good lesson in them or something. Yeah.
Gotcha. So a couple, but they didn't have like a TV just like in the house.
No.
Like what is more common. But
no. So
anyways, that is his story about of what it was like growing without any electronics, and enjoy that country music. Be a rebel like Sam. That's the lesson here.
Yep.
Keep that rebellious spirit, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.